going to do now is to tap it into a ball. A lot of times I'll put it into an oval shape instead of a ball. That's what I'll put on the wheel. So I'm ready to get started. Water, not too much, just to get it down. And then I will attempt to throw it on center. And that's something I sometimes have a problem with, but I'm getting better at it. Okay? All right, the next thing you want to do is to attach the clay to the wheel so it won't be sliding off on you. And what I'll do is I'm hitting the clay at a 45-degree angle. I'm hitting it down and in. And there's two things that's happening right here. One is that I'm actually attaching it to the wheel. It's actually going to be attached. It's not going to go flying off. A lot of beginning students, the clay comes off. And the second thing is I'm centering the clay. If you center the clay here, it's much easier when you turn the wheel on. It's so much easier. Solve the problem before you have a problem, major problem, when you're centering. So just slap it on the center. Then you have less problems later on. And I'll take off the little bit of clay here. I'll seal the bottom, and I'll take off a little bit of this off-center clay at the bottom, just a little bit of the base that one I took off. And I seal the bottom edge, so when I put water on the clay or slip, it doesn't go under. It stops right there. Okay? Now, when my slip, I usually save my slip from one session to the next, or I'll take the big chunks out and add a little bit of water to it. Slip soaks into the clay slower than pure water does. So it's much better to work with slip when you're working on the wheel than it is just with pure water. If I don't have slip, I'll use water, it's not a problem, but I would prefer to have kind of a thicker slip that I'm working with. All right, so just to get started, I'll get started at a medium speed. My left hand does 90% of the centering, and I'm working with the heel of my hand and across the bottom part of my hand. I'm not pushing with my arm, I'm holding my arm still, elbow into my pelvis, my stomach, my leg, something that I can press and lean with my body weight. So I'm not just pushing, I'm not really pushing at all. I'm leaning into it, but I'm holding my arm steady. And as the clay centers up, I'll go ahead and continue to speed up the wheel. So I lean in with my left hand, slowly move up. So I can almost perfectly center the clay with just my left hand. It does 90% of the centering. My right hand is in charge at the top of the clay. So what I'll try to do is get my body weight shifted so that my left foot's forward, my right foot's back. My right shoulder is on top of the clay with my arm pushing down. When I push down from the top, my left hand goes to the top to center the top of the clay. My right hand does the pushing down. Power from the shoulder. When you're centering from the left hand, it powers from the back. Lean in with your back, push down with your shoulder. Elbow in. What I usually tell my students to do to practice centering is to push the clay off center a little bit. You push it off center and then practice centering this up, and then until you get it, I would not move to the next step or to try to make pottery. You need to learn the technique. So again, reviewing, your left elbow is into your body, somewhere into your body. Sometimes it takes telling the students it's the stomach, sometimes it's the pelvis, sometimes it's the leg. The part of your body that you're going to lean against the clay and put pressure from the back. So you lean in, stiffen up the hands from moving. You start to center the clay. Pressure through this part of your hand here, heel and the bottom part. I usually start centering slow, and as it centers, I speed it up. And I think centering should be done on fast speed, or 3/4 speed anyway, but not in the beginning. If it's really off center, you need to center it up better. Elbow in, lean in, right foot back, left foot forward. Sometimes you have to move the clay. Allow the clay to move up a little bit instead of trying to keep it in the same place. Now the right hand, I'll come in with my right hand and center the top of the clay. And I'm going to do that. If you think about the clay as a circle, and all I have to do is work at, say, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock on that circle right here. I only have to press on half of it because it's going in a circle. I only press on the radius of it instead of the diameter. And so I'm going to go ahead and speed it up a little bit. I'm still leaning in with my left hand at the same time, locking them together. Pressure from my shoulder, my right shoulder. Pressure should come down from this shoulder through my arm and press down. So I'm leaning with my body weight. Most people try to just do it with their arms, and it's just way too hard to do unless you're a muscle man or something. Okay, it's just very difficult. So highly recommend you just stop the wheel, push it off center a little bit, not a whole lot. Push too much, it's too difficult. Crank it up and just practice center. Relax, let go. And what you want to do is, one way to find out if it's centered or not is to actually put your hands on the clay. Put your hands on and close your eyes and feel if it's perfectly centered or not. Just kind of, if this has a slight wobble in the top of it, I can get that out. So I really want to get every bit of that clay from wobble. It's good practice to learn what center is. A lot of, you put your hand on it, and you can feel it's just ever so just a fraction off center. Most potters, the first thing you do is learn how to center the clay, and after you've learned to center the clay, you learn how to alter it off center. But you need to learn the correct techniques